What's going on, guys? Welcome back to BlackTideTV. It's been a while, but we're back with another campaign trophy guide for Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. In today's video, we're talking about the Weapon Master Trophy, which is get a kill with each type of handheld gun, explosive, and launcher in the single-player campaign. We're also going to be covering Desert Storm because, of course, finding the Desert Eagle and crew expendable and getting 5 kills with it, obviously, is part of getting a kill with every single weapon in the game. Now, I'm not going to go through and tell you where every weapon in the game is. As you play through the campaign, you'll easily find a lot of these weapons. I'm just going to tell you where some of the more unique weapons are. So there's the Desert Eagle, which you'll find on crew expendable. Only place in the game to find it is by this guy. He's going to sneak out around the corner and try and shoot at you. Make sure you kill him really quick. You might even want to pre-fire the corners because he will waste a lot of the ammo on the Desert Eagle. And to get your Desert Storm trophy, you actually have to get 5 kills with that Desert Eagle. And sometimes it's not that easy to control. It is a very, very powerful weapon, and you will get a one-shot kill with it on most of the enemies, especially if you're playing Recruit, which I highly, highly recommend for getting any trophies. But he's still going to waste a lot of ammo when he starts spamming that thing at you. So you got to pre-fire around those corners. Sometimes he's to that right corner. Sometimes he's ahead and on the left. Just as you're going through those shipping containers, make sure you're listening to Captain Price and check those corners. But that is how to get your Desert Eagle, and that's how to get the Desert Storm trophy. The other things that we need to talk about are the M16A4, the GP25 grenade launcher, which I'm not going to show you, but I will mention it briefly, and the M60E4. So we're going to go ahead and start talking about those next. To find the M16A4 assault rifle, you're going to have to play the mission War Pig. This is in the first act. It's the first Marines mission after the Bog. It's the mission where you have to escort this tank through the Middle Eastern town. You've got your comrades, your Marines there with you, and you need to kind of survive this ambush that the enemy forces kind of put on you. The only way to pick up the M16 is to pick it up off of a fallen comrade. Most of your comrades are using M16A4s, and that's the only place that you'll find them. You won't find this just lying around. You won't just find it in some secret room or held by some special enemy. It is exclusive to the Marines in this mission. So what you're going to have to do right off the bat, right at the beginning of the mission, you can look around and eventually one of your Marines will die. It's just going to happen unless you're some CoD god and you're completely destroying the enemies before they can drop any of your NPCs. One of your teammates will eventually die, and hopefully that's the teammate holding the M16. There's a couple of them using M16s. One of them has an M16 with a grenade launcher on it. One of them has a standard M16. One of them, I think, has a red dot sight on it, but a bunch of them are carrying M16s. Eventually, one will die. Just make sure you're paying attention. It may not drop at the beginning of the mission, so just make sure you're following around, stick to your teammates' asses, and eventually one of them will die, and you'll find the M16, and you can get a kill with it. It is very powerful. I would highly recommend that you actually just look for this when you're playing this mission regularly. If you're doing this mission on Veteran, M16 is one of the best ways to get it done because it's so powerful. It drops people in like 2 shots, but that is how you're going to find your M16A4 assault rifle in this game. Now, as far as the GP25 grenade launcher goes, I'm just going to briefly mention that here because this is a good mission to find it in. I'm not going to actually pick it up in the gameplay, but the GP25 is an exclusive grenade launcher. It's very, very, very special because it only comes on the AK-47. All of the other grenade launchers in the game are the M203 grenade launcher, and they will count as one explosive, but you will not get this trophy done until you fire off both grenade launchers. They are completely different. You'll have to find an AK-47 with a grenade launcher on it, so I think it's called the AK-47 Grenadier in the game or something like that. So you're going to have to go around. It's easy to find in those kind of Middle Eastern missions, the Bog, War Pig. War Pig is definitely the easiest to find it in because there's so many enemies shooting at you, and you actually have to move forward and walk through where you just killed those enemies. So you'll likely find it in there. If you do get an AK-47 with a grenade launcher, make sure you fire off that grenade launcher and get a kill with it because it is an exclusive grenade launcher that you can't find anywhere else in the game. We've now moved on to Game Over. This is the final mission in the entire game, and this is where you're going to get the M60E4. See this truck that is just parked up here that kind of drives around and then he parks? There's an enemy that jumps out of that truck. He's going to drop the M60E4. So this mission you're definitely going to want to play on Recruit because you do have to get up and run all the way into where the enemies are essentially spawning at the end of this mission. So this is after the truck crash, after the bridge explodes. wait for that truck to park, and then you run, and then there's going to be an enemy that jumps out of it. Run up and grab the M60, and that is the last and most difficult weapon to find in the game. It's such an outlier because it's this strange weapon that's at the far reaches of this bridge. You're never going to find it unless you knew it was up there, unless you noticed this enemy dropping it. You're not going to be able to pick it up. Now, there are other enemies that use M60s, other enemies and friendlies, I believe, that use the M60 in the campaign, but they don't actually drop it. They either use it in cutscenes or they drop it out of your reach, and it's just impossible to pick it up. So this is the only M60 in the game that you can pick up. You're going to have to run up there to the end of the bridge and grab it. There's one other weapon that I want to mention that I kind of found hard to find, but it's once you get into the right mission, it's pretty easy to find. It's everywhere. I'm not sure if this one is exclusive to the one mission or if it's actually available everywhere and I just never realized it, but the Scorpion SMG, you can find that weapon on the crew, or not crew expendable, on the Mile High Club, the final mission in the game, the epilogue to this game. That is where you'll find your Scorpion very, very easily. It'll drop on the first, like one of the first 3 enemies in that game, or in that mission. You'll find both the Mini Uzi and the Scorpion, which are 2 SMGs that are a little bit more uncommon. They're not exactly rare like the weapons I just shared with you, but they're uncommon enough. So that's where you'll find those SMGs. The rest of this video was explaining how to find the Desert Eagle, the M16, the GP25 grenade launcher, and the M60E4. If this video helped you out, or if you enjoyed it, make sure you slap that like button. It helps out so much. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'll throw up the end card. Click on either of these videos to continue watching content on my channel, and I will have more videos coming out later today. I'm going to do an Advanced Warfare video and stuff like that, so make sure you're staying tuned. Have a good one.